smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine, but I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you. I believe, 'cause I want you. Here with me, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy for love. I look at you and know it's alright. You read my mind, but I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you. I believe, 'cause I want you. Here with me, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy for love. I don't need another love. Yeah. We do this every day. We do this love for life. You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine, but I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you. I believe, 'cause I want you. Here with me, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy for love.
And everybody to the Clubhouse Chaotic Chat. It's the place to be on Sunday night to hang out and get to know people from the Disney YouTube community. If you're joining us tonight for the first time, thank you for joining us. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can make sure you're reminded of all the Triple C shows and all the great Disney content on this channel. If you're enjoying this, everybody, go ahead and hit that like. It's your reminder now. Hit that like button before you forget. We really appreciate that. And as always, take a moment and leave a comment on this video if you're watching the replay, or if you have a question for our guest that we don't get to. We will review all those comments, and we do appreciate them. Tonight, we are celebrating our 98th show. It's so close to our milestone 100th show. The magical celebration is just in 2 weeks. So we hope that all of you will come back and join us for that very special stream. Before we get started, though, I want to wish safe travels to Pete, who is currently flying the friendly skies. Best wishes to Tina and her family as they are starting a new chapter this weekend in their new home. And also, congratulations to Stephanie, who is having a celebration tonight with her family. We'll miss you all tonight. So joining me is our Triple C veteran, the beautiful, lovely Sammy D. Thank you, Sammy, for joining us.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show.
I'm so excited. I always get excited to come back and see all of you. Well, today, just you.
You get just me today. How's the family? How's everything going?
Everybody's good. We're back to school, so it's back to school madness. Now we're joining clubs and sports, so now it makes me want to miss summer.
Summer goes by so fast, you know. It just really does. And then the school year drags on, but you know, that's just the way it is. That's the way it is. And how is Joey D? How are his sleeves? Still
Oh,
sleeveless?
he is still sleeveless. He just got Brayden, the little one, some sleeveless shirts to match. So
Oh my gosh. I hope you post some of that on Instagram. Everybody go follow Sammy's Instagram. Oh, I can't wait to see that. That's
I'll
going to
have
be
to post
awesome.
soon.
I'm happy to announce that today is finally the day that Paul is going to join us. I know Pete's been saying that for a few weeks now, that Paul is
Oh,
going to join us. Today's finally the day. So we're going to bring him on at the end of the show. So
yeah.
everybody hang tight for that. That's going to be a little later on. But let's get started right now. Sammy, can you go ahead and welcome in our chat? Welcome in all of our friends who are here with us today.
Yes. So we have, and I'm doing this on my phone. So if I miss you, please, I will get you on the next one. So I have Fred. I have Rob, aka UK Diz Dad. I have Debbie. Hello, Debbie. I have Plymouth Rock, Dave's Disney Dream, Vicky, Jason, Zip the Adu Doug. I have Mar, Max. I have AJC Magic TV, Molly's mom,
Hi, Mom.
Aliens Wear Green Hats, Rachel's Adventure, Tim, and Marie. I also have Mandy Cakes 212, Mark, Spaceship Ears, Surf Bum, Francisco, and Plymouth Rock, which I think I said that already, but if I didn't, it's a repeat. It's a repeat. If I didn't get you, I will get you on the next one. We're having some little bit of technical difficulties today with our electronics.
Just a little bit. Yeah, like Sammy said, if we missed you, we're sorry. Go ahead and put in the chat hello again so we can make sure you grab you on the next time around. We're going to have a great show tonight, but first, we want to talk about last week's show. It was the Maryland Meetup Recap Show, and it was live from the McDevitt Studios in Baltimore, Maryland. It was a great time. We talked about the 4th annual meetup event. I can't believe we've done it 4 times already. There were over 50 people there. We had a great opening day lunch at a Guapo restaurant where everybody was able to meet and mingle and enjoy some great Mexican food. That was a lot of fun. The competition was tight, though, with the incredible bowling competition. And that was complete with a full food buffet. And the winning team even got some prizes and trophies. So that was a lot of fun. The main event cocktail party, that was spectacular. I hope everyone was able to catch it on the live stream. That Pete was broadcasting on his channel. There was delicious food, door prizes. We even did Disney bounding costume contest. Sammy, did you get to see any of those costumes?
I did not. I can't wait to go back and look at that. That sounds so much fun.
We suggested it and everybody just really took off with it. It was great. We gave away some prizes for that. And also there was a flashy social media corner. So lots of pictures I saw were posted online. If you haven't seen any of those, go back and take a look, because it was such a great night. I mean, everybody getting together. So I don't know if one of the mods can maybe drop the link to that show, the fundraiser meetup show. That would be great. So anybody can go back and watch it that missed it. But the highlight of the weekend was the charity donations for the Semper Fi and Americas Fund. Raised over $12,000 total. That is
amazing.
That's gonna make me cry. That is just so amazing. That is beyond the goals that Pete had set up. And from the bottom of all of our hearts, thank you to everybody who contributed, who donated. We will be spinning the wheel for prizes this coming Friday night on the News and Merch Show. So for every $20 that anyone has donated, you get one entry on the wheel to win those prizes. So if you qualify for that, make sure you show up Friday night to see if you win any prizes. I also wanted to say that with all of the donations from everyone in the community, for door prizes and other monetary donations to support the meetup itself, we were able to award over $5,000 in prizes. And that is just makes me speechless. What
That is
great,
unbelievable.
I know, right? What a great, generous family/community we have here. So excited to talk about next year already. Next year's meetup will be really awesome. So stay tuned for information on that. So I would go and encourage everybody, go ahead and leave a comment on that video from last week's show. Let us know what you thought. Let us know your favorite part. So Sammy, why don't you go ahead and tell us about tonight's show?
Oh, I'm so excited. This week's guest is another friend in this community we consider an OG friend to so many of us. Great supporter in the community and maintains his own channel as well. Tonight's guest excels at something many of us hold near and dear to our hearts besides Disney, a love for movies. Hailing from the mid-eastern coast of New Jersey, through his channel, he's taking us on many movie set adventures, given some amazing movie reviews, and brought us along for some great tours of boardwalk and beach. A true Yankee fan, sorry, Nick, maybe next year. A polished bowling ball, ladies simmer down. Top bowler and a ghost-busting 80s kid who brightened our community up. Tonight's guest is none other than Moviemania Nick.
Moviemania Nick. Yes,
Yeah.
he was just at the meetup last week, and he did bring his polished balls. Bowling balls for the bowling tournament.
Yes.
Of course. And you know what? They led him to the trophy for the top male bowler at the event. So
wow.
Yep.
The ball's bottom luck.
the secret is the polish, I'm sure. So maybe we'll hear a little bit about that in a little bit. We're going to bring him on in just a second. But first, we have to do the thing that we do every week with the questions, the crazy questions. This week, we're still going to do it. Just the two of us, Sammy. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So this week's question is, if you could choose to be born in any decade, which decade would you choose and why?
I would choose 70s just for the outfits. Even though I like the 80s, I mean, I was born in late 80s, so I feel like I'm more of a 90s baby, but I would go to the 70s just for the outfits, just for the fashion. What about you?
Well, I'm kind of along the same way, but I think I want to be born in like the early 60s or the late 50s, because wasn't that like the poodle skirts and the the poofy skirts and the hairdos and the fancy convertible cars and all that. I go into the drive-in. Pretty much I want to be in the movie Grease.
That's what you described.
Whatever decade that is. That's the decade. I have to put it in movie terms so that our guest Moviemania Nick understands. So it will be that's the movie. Yes. Not the year the movie was made, the year that the movie took place in. So there. Now Nick can understand that clearly.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I like that. I think they're both good. Between like the 50s into the 70s, even the 80s is a good good decade.
I think because I lived through the 80s, I lived through the 90s, I don't really need to go back there. I'd rather go back to a time that I wasn't able to be in. So, yeah.
That's true.
That's true. All right. Well, without further ado, let's bring on our guest. He's sitting there backstage. There he is. He's got his Ghostbusters hat on, the trademark. Oop, that's not right. The trademark Ghostbusters hat. Hello, Nick.
What's up, everyone? It's great to be here.
So glad that you could join us tonight. Sammy and I are so happy that you're here with us. Let's just get started with a short introduction about yourself for anybody who might be meeting you for the first time.
All right. So my name's Nick. I basically live in New Jersey. I love movies. I like sports, Yankees, and fortunately the Jets. Yeah, I know. But I also like to do other stuff too, just besides going to see movies. And, I do some filming locations too. But I do like to go to museums, Broadway shows, concerts, Comic-Cons, horror conventions, a whole bunch of other stuff, car shows. You name it, I like to go to it.
Awesome. Awesome. That's a good intro. What a lot of people are curious about, though, is we all have a story about our journey to arriving at Disney YouTube, finding this whole community that we didn't know is there. So can you share with us your story of how you found this Disney YouTube community?
It's kind of easy because what happened was I was going through live streams and sports stuff, and I was watching Dole Whip Dad, Jeff, and he did his baseball streams, which he's still doing now.
Mm-hmm.
But he actually said, if you like baseball streams, go check out my friend Pete McDevitt, because he does play-by-play baseball streams. So I went to it, I watched it, I enjoyed it, I liked it, and basically from there, I watched other people's channels, and the rest is history.
Here we are. I think we all kind of fell in through either Pete McDevitt Show or Dis and That or Resort TV One. Those seem to be the most common tunnels to the community. So, yeah, and Dole Whip Dad. Haven't seen him around too much.
He's still around, but he's the one that really introduced me to Pete.
Mm-hmm.
His channel.
Awesome.
So.
Awesome. Well, thanks for letting us know that. I'm going to hand it over to Sammy. Sammy, was there anybody new that has come into our chat?
Yes, I have the Wandering Andinos, Disney Connection, Stanley Socks, Simba 2, Teresa, Jean the Turkey Leg, Kendrick the Disney fan, I'm sorry, and Joy S. the Sassy Squad, which I love that name. I love that name. And I think and Julie and Sebastian the Crab just came in. And Ellie.
All the friends are here today.
Yeah,
Thank you, everyone. It's so good to see all of you. Yep. All of the friends are here. Everybody wants to hear more about Moviemania, Nick. So, Sammy, why don't you go ahead and hit Nick up with the next round of questions?
All right. So we all know you have your own channel. Now, I would love for you to tell us, a little bit about what inspired you to start the channel and what we can find over there.
So I basically said it in my intro about me, what I do on my channel about me. But like I said, I do a lot of the movie reviews. I'm going to try to get back into the filming locations, but museums, car shows, conventions, and other stuff. But what really inspired me to do this was I was watching, just looking at other people and seeing other videos of people streaming of live streaming of the filming locations. And what got me into basically was Adam the Woo and Justin Scarred. And they kind of inspired me to start, because really, I wasn't really into YouTube before this, because I started in 2016. So before that, I was just watching videos, and before that, I really wasn't into it. But them two really inspired me to do this, just because where I was living at the time was in Ocean City, Maryland, around that area. And around there, nobody was doing anything. So I figured, let me do some movie reviews. So I started that, and from there, and that's when I started doing filming locations and doing the other stuff around events, festivals, and other stuff around there.
That's awesome. All right, so this is a two-part question. The first one is, what movie holds your favorite review that you've given, and what filming location that you've been to was your favorite to explore, and why?
So you're meaning like what's my favorite movie review?
Yes.
All right. Honestly, I can't really name just one. There's so many. I've done the Back to the Future movie review, the Ghostbusters movie review. So those are the top two right there.
The top two. Okay.
Yeah.
What about filming location that you've been to? What was your favorite that you like to explore?
I would have to say two of them. One was Dead Poet Society, which is Robin Williams starred in that, and other actors. And I believe it was in Middletown, Delaware. And I basically went to the theater where in the movie you actually see them walk in and out of, and I actually went to the school where they filmed it.
Oh.
Now, I only shot the exterior shot of the school because at the time when I went, school was happening. It was in session.
Mm.
So I didn't want to go in and disturb anybody. I just, because I did hear they do have some pictures and movie stuff from the film, but I basically showed the school and basically the hill where they were walking down in the lake area. So that would be my 2.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for
Oh,
sharing that. I
the-
love that.
That was just the one.
That was one, yes.
Yeah, but the other one was Runaway Bride, which was filmed in Berlin, Maryland. It was Richard Gere and Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. Yep.
Yes. So I basically
Chick
filmed
flick.
where he was coming down the street driving, and basically he's standing on a post, and you could see the, I guess it was the bank or some building at the time. You could see it in the background, and film basically her house, which her character was living in the movie. So those are the 2.
I love that. Well,
Very
thank
cool.
you for sharing that. Before I send you off to Jen, I wanted to welcome in Park Hopper Choppers, Julie, and I think that was it. Yep, that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and send you to Jen.
Well, I want to mention real quick, the mods are going to be dropping Nick's links in the chat. Make sure you go ahead and check out his Instagram, check out his YouTube, so you can go back and check out all the videos that he's talking about, all of the moments that he's had, and movie reviews. So mods, thank you for continuing to drop those links throughout the show. What I want to do now is want to ask, where am I? I'm sorry, lost my place. You've had some pretty cool encounters with some celebrities throughout all of your travels and adventures, going to Comic Cons and other events. So can you share with us some of the most memorable experiences of meeting celebrities?
The most memorable experiences, I would just say just getting to know them. I mean, they're human beings just like us. So just be kind, nice to them. Don't be rude. If you want, I do have some pictures I can show you.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. So I'm going to show you my first autograph picture I got when I was a toddler. I was like maybe 3 or 4 years old. And
Going way back. We're gonna see Little Nick.
This is it's not a picture of me. It's just a picture autograph.
Oh, okay, just a picture
person.
autographed. Okay.
Yes. So I got this basically. It's kind of weird. My cousin knew a person that worked on the show, and he knew I loved the show when I was a kid.
It's not what you know; it's who you know.
Exactly, and I would say this person it brought joy and taught us a lot of lessons to us when we were kids, which I think some people need to know it by now. So here it is. I don't know if you can see it. Mr. Fred Rogers. Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers. Now, is that personalized to you?
Yes, it says for Nikki, from your television neighbor, Mr. Rogers.
Oh, look at that. And he's got a sweater on. That's awesome. And I love that you have it in a frame. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I've had this for years. And it was a known fact, but I heard rumors that it was very hard to come by to get his autograph. So I was one of the very lucky ones to get that.
Very cool.
So here's some other pictures. This is the first person I did meet in person at a Comic-Con.
Okay.
And it's Eric Estrada.
Oh,
awesome.
Nicest guy, funniest guy.
He looks the same, like he hasn't aged.
Yeah, he hasn't aged. Doesn't age at all. And here we go. We have Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters.
Oh my God.
And other TV shows.
Awesome.
Look at that. Nice.
Christina Ricci.
Oh, nice.
That's a good one.
Does your whole wardrobe involve Ghostbusters shirts and hats?
No.
Asking for a friend.
Here's a different one. Back to the Future.
Oh, okay. Back to the Future.
That's Steve Guttenberg.
Oh, from Police Academy.
Police Academy, Cocoon. Nicest guy you ever met. I talked to him for about 10 minutes straight, just talking about stuff, life. I actually follow him on Instagram. He's got a channel, and it's very inspirational. It's very inspirational. I
Wow.
like his channel.
Okay, that's cool.
And now the final, the big one.
Okay.
Here.
Oh, the big one. Okay.
Here we go. We have Thomas F. Wilson from Back to the Future, who played Biff.
Oh, Biff. Okay, I see it now. Yeah, look at that.
Okay. We have Leah Thompson.
Oh, nice.
All right. Then we have Christopher Lloyd.
Oh my,
Back to the Future. Yeah, look at that.
And excuse the facial expression on this. I don't know what happened with the picture, but the way it was, Michael J. Fox.
Oh, very cool.
While he was there, I got an autograph.
Nice.
That's
And that's
awesome.
a great picture. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just an iconic.
And I met them at the Comic-Con back in 2019 at MegaCon. That's when I went. That was the biggie for me. That's why I wanted to go. That was the main reason to meet them.
Wow.
So
That is
that's it.
what great
I mean,
memories.
I have so many other pictures and some other autographs, but it'll hog up the whole show. I don't want to do that.
That's awesome. That is great. Now, besides those autographs that you have you collected any other like collectibles from movies, movie props, or any other sort of things that you collect around movies?
I do have the plates from the Ghostbusters and Back to the Future. I have some other posters and pictures and stuff. I do have some stuff like Christmas ornaments from movies. So, I mean, that's really it. I have a few Disney stuff, some Disney stuff too.
Disney stuff.
Yeah, Disney stuff. What's that?
That's great. That's great. So if the mods can go ahead and keep dropping those links, that would be great so that everybody can check that out. I think it's time in the show that we need to talk about the drink of the week. So Sammy, tell us about the drink of the week.
Yes. So the drink of the week is not a Disney drink. It's just rum and Coke. So Nick, can you tell us why you picked this drink and what you like about it?
I picked this drink because it's basically my go-to drink if I'm at a party or a family event or a bar or restaurant or something. I drink Bacardi. I basically like a sweeter rum like Malibu. That's my go-to. But yeah, I think it's very refreshing. I mean, it doesn't really get you buzzed a lot unless you drink a lot. So it's, if you keep the pace, you're fine.
Are there any like experiences or personal like stuff that you've done like while you're drinking this? Have you ever had like I don't know, a special memory, something that why you like to have this drink?
Yeah, but I can't say it's kind of personal.
Oh, okay. Yes. No.
This is a family channel.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, if you want to know that story, comment, like, and subscribe to Moviemania Nick. That's awesome.
Jen, would you try this?
I have had rum and Coke before. Not my favorite, but I have had it. Jack and Coke. Yeah. It's all right. It's an OG. It's a standard. It's a go-to. What I think is cool is I forget where I was at, but they like actually sell like cans of Jack and Coke like together, or rum and Coke. Have either of you seen those in the store?
No. I have not.
It was I took a picture of it. It was Jack and Coke, and then I also seen at Christmas time you could buy those gift sets where you get like the glass and you get the Coke and the rum and
Well, if I see it in the liquor store, if I get hooked on it, I'll blame you.
Oh, blame me. I'm good with that. Blame me for anything. I'll take it. Okay, so as long as we're here having a few laughs, I think it's time to ask Nick the question of the show, the question of the day, which is, if you could choose to be born in any decade, which decade would you choose and why?
All right, so since I'm an 80s kid, still at heart. You know, I've always liked the 50s and 60s and the music, but that's not really where I would like to be. I would probably like to have been born like the late 70s, because since I know what movies came out in the 80s, I would be old enough to experience those movies that came out in the theater.
Oh, I like that.
That is a
Because
great answer.
since when those movies came out, I never experienced it. I've always watched it on TV until they came out in the theater, which some of them they do release now, and I just go to see it, just experience it, what it was like. But that's what I would have liked, you know, because I would like to be like 10, 15 years old, around there, just to see those movies, early movies in the 80s.
You know, that is a perfect answer for you. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that one. Good answer, Nick. Very good. I'm impressed. That was better than any of my answers. All right. All right. Sammy, do we have any other friends that have come in?
Yes, we have K, Ice Dog 1015, Geofire 2023, Main Street Nick 87, Stream Elements, and Crown V66.
I love Stream Elements. Stream Elements is so faithful in every stream. Hello, Stream Elements. Thank you for being here. All right, Sammy, we got more questions for Nick.
Yes. So you had an interesting first trip to Disney. Could you share that experience with us?
Yeah, it was basically, excuse my language, but it was the trip from hell. So it was basically, I was about 8, 9 years old at the time. My mom and I, we went to Disney. Of course, we flew on the plane down there, but the plane was delayed about 2 hours. Then when we got there, we got the car, and the car was a lemon. It broke down. So we had to wait for another car. Then finally, I guess when we went to SeaWorld the day after, I got sick.
Oh.
And that was my first trip to Disney and other parks. Yeah.
Oh, no.
But after that, it did get better. And if you want to know like a funny story, my cousin and I had after. So my cousin and I, we went, you know, we both, in the family, of course, we went to Disney, and we rode Splash Mountain. And I was a teenager at the time, and we rode it about, I don't know, 8, 9 times in a row, which at the time, there wasn't a lot of people there. The lines weren't that, you know, the lines weren't that long. And basically that's how many times we rode it. And by the time we were done, we were soaking wet from head to toe.
Oh,
That was, yeah. My aunt and uncle weren't too happy, but it was a lot of fun.
It's all about having fun. You gotta have fun. It's just water. It dries,
That's all it
right?
is.
yeah.
It dries. It doesn't leave a stain. It just, you just wet.
But
And it
was
makes
fun.
up
It
for
was
good
fun.
memories.
Exactly.
It does. So, you did have a great trip back to Disney during the turn of the century. Is that the trip that you just told us about?
That was before. That was like when I was 14,
Okay.
13, around that time. This trip, and it's actually, I'm going to tell you something else. It's a combination of, I used to be an umpire. I used to umpire Little League games, high school games, and some college games. So right after I finished high school, I graduated. Same, my aunt, uncle, and my cousin, we took a trip down to Florida. And this was back in 1999. So when my umpire first school, I actually did 2 schools, but the first one, it was basically, it was Y2K. So we were there at Epcot when it happened.
Oh, okay.
And it
That's cool.
a madhouse. It was crazy there. But
Wow.
yeah, that's it. I mean, and later on, about a couple of years later, I did go back to umpire school, and it worked out. So from everything I learned there, I came back home with, and just, you know, I still umpired for a bit. I took the learning experiences and just applied it there. But I knew I was never going to make it because there were some things I just couldn't grasp. I couldn't get. So, but for the most part, it was fun to teach the kids and umpire and make a couple bucks on the side.
There's a question in the chat
Yeah.
asking, can Nick give us his strike 3 call?
I can, but might blow your ears out. I'm pretty loud.
Okay, maybe just turn down the volume. Okay.
Yeah. So it was basically, I just went, strike 3, but it was louder. I did the arm up and, like a punch.
I don't think any of us have ever heard you talk loud before, so that would be something.
It's hard to picture.
Yeah. I can get loud when I want to, or if I have to.
Nice. Sammy, anybody else come into the chat that we need to say hello to?
Well, if I have to say hi to Joey D, who just entered the chat, we'll say hi.
Hi, Joey.
That's all I have.
And does he have sleeves or no sleeves today?
He has no sleeves, and he's always wearing red. You can always count on either it's a red shirt.
Oh.
And it's sleeveless.
Red sleeveless is a Joey uniform.
His favorite color. That's all I have is red shirts. Never wears black. It's always red or gray. It's a fun fact, guys. Fun fact.
Okay, that is a fun fact. That is a fun fact. Red or gray sleeveless shirts for Joey D.
And cargo shorts. Always.
The Joey uniform.
Yes.
Well, hello, Joey. Thanks for coming in. Okay, I want to talk about some of your wait a minute. Am I in the right spot? Okay.
You took mine. It's okay.
Let's talk about all right, Sammy, take over. I lost my place. Take over.
I'll take one of yours. It's okay. Who are some of your biggest influences in life, whether it be Disney or just in general, and why?
I would probably say my mom for the first one, because basically she's always been there, especially since my dad died when I was younger. Also, it's you guys, the community. And there is a special part of this community. I want to say you guys really helped me through the years. I would say since before I moved here, 14 years or 5 years, I should say, because I didn't come in until 2020 or a little after. I had a rough going where I used to live between my job and watching this community, watching everybody, just everyone being nice to each other and the laughter. And it really got me through it. Let's just say that. That's all I'm going to say.
That's awesome, Nick. I mean, I think a lot of us feel that way about this community, that it's become more than just a bunch of names in a chat on YouTube. I think everybody can pretty much agree
people
with
I
that.
met, the friends I made.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's beautiful to have a community like that, especially life being so hard. It's nice to have, sometimes the community pulls more than people you've known personally, like not in the community. So sometimes
because every day, like I said, like every day after work, I have that bad day. I just come home, go into this community and watch live streams, and it made me better, made me happier.
Oh, love that. Okay, so sometimes we do a Disney rapid fire session, but tonight we're going to do something different. It's going to be a Moviemania Nick rapid fire session. So I'm just going to tell you, what the question is, and you're just going to say an answer. So, favorite actor?
Well, it should be actors. It still is, but Robin Williams and Tom Hanks.
Oh. Okay, good.
Favorite film?
Favorite film, of course, films. Back to the Future trilogy and Ghostbusters.
Okay. First movie you saw in the theater?
First movie I saw in the theater was, I was 10 years old, 1990, live action film, The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay. First rated R film you went to see?
Now, I didn't see this in a movie theater. I actually went to a friend's house and we watched it. We saw RoboCop.
Okay.
That was pretty gruesome and everything else.
Yeah, definitely. Favorite Disney film?
The animated film, The Lion King.
favorite Disney character or characters?
Goofy.
Okay.
Goofy's my favorite.
Favorite Disney ride?
Well, it was the Great Movie Ride and Splash Mountain, but as we know, they're gone, unfortunately.
Yes. And how about favorite Disney resort?
The Polynesian.
Hmm.
That's my
Great.
favorite. First time I ever went there, it was nice, calm, relaxing.
Okay. And then what is favorite snack, Disney snack?
Well, it's been a while, but last time it was 2019. I was at Epcot. I think I had some sort of pretzel. So I go with the pretzel.
Pretzel's a good choice.
That was good.
Okay. Okay. And what about favorite Disney park?
Favorite Disney park? Well, here we go. It used to be MGM Studios before they turned it into Hollywood Studios. But now I would probably have to say it would be Epcot.
Awesome. These are great. I love that. Thank you
Nice.
for sharing. So before I send you to Jen, I want to welcome Travel and Foodie Warriors.
Travel and Food Warriors. I think we're going to be hearing about them in just a minute here, because we're going to go over now to the channels that Nick finds to be content that he loves to watch. We're going to talk about his favorite 3 channels, which are Tampa J, It's Joey's World, and Travel and Foodie Warriors. So, Nick. His channel, why do you love him so much?
Travel and Foodie Warriors?
Yep.
Okay. Well, before I get into them, I do want to say these are 3 of many I watch. I watch so many channels, and I can't, name all of them, but these are 3 I do enjoy watching. I really do. Travel and Foodie Warriors, it's Wes and Melissa. And I'm actually not met them in person, but they met them on, I don't remember, Anthony the Molar Man, when he was doing the trivia shows. They were actually on there, and I was a guest on the show too. And they're big, same thing as me, big Back to the Future Ghostbuster fans. And they go around, they do a lot of traveling, of course. They eat a lot of food, review food. Nice overall people. And I really enjoy watching them. They're nice. They seem like a nice couple. And hopefully one day I can actually meet them in person. So yeah, guys, if you ever check them out, they're a good channel.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Sounds like a great channel. And we want to thank them for being in the chat today too. Tell us about It's Joey's World.
Of course, It's Joey's World. Joey, Lisa, and Keith. They were actually one of my subscribers. I think they were like my number 1 or number 2, somewhere around there when I started. So they've been around for a while. I just enjoy the channel. I love watching Joey and what he's doing, and of course Joey with his autism. But I do like how he does get out and he has fun, and they all have fun and do the special, the little parodies, the little videos of doing other vloggers and YouTubers. I get a kick out of that, and just traveling too and going to other places. I really enjoy it, and especially Christmas time with Havoc. That's the best thing.
Oh, everybody loves Joey. Yep.
So if you haven't checked It's Joey's World, check him out.
Awesome. And now what about Tampa J?
Tampa J, he is actually one of the very first people I used to watch, just like Adam the Woo. And back in the day, there's a little quick story. When we all first began, we were called the bottom of YouTube. That's what we were called, because there was some other guy out there we used to watch, and he was basically a vlogger reviewer. And but his channel, he does a lot of stuff, traveling, roadside attractions. He does see some movies and stuff, so a little bit of reviews, but not as much. He goes to a lot of conventions, horror cons specifically. He's a big horror fan. Comic-Cons. So watching him, he really got me into going to these conventions because they look like so much fun. And, you know, I watch him a lot. He's a good guy. He really is. And he has a fiance too. She has a channel, but yeah, check him out. If you like what I do with the conventions, check him out. He does a lot of that, especially if you're a horror person, horror fan, check his channel out.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Thanks for introducing us to those 3 channels. And thank you to the mods for dropping the links. So we encourage everybody, go check out those channels and see what Moviemania Nick has just talked about and why he loves them. So that's leads us to our show recap. Nick, you made it through the show. Thank you for
Glad the power didn't go out.
Your power didn't go out. We're all still here. Sammy, why don't you go ahead and give us our show recap?
Absolutely. So we had an amazing show tonight, learning all about Nick and his movies. Here are some highlights. Tonight, we had an incredible time learning about our friend Nick and his love for Disney and all things movies and more. He truly took us on a journey through his many escapades and movie reviews. We got to talk to Nick about some of his amazing celebrity experiences and had a fantastic rapid fire question session. We can't forget about Nick's drink of the week, a simple favorite, rum and coke. I encourage everybody to leave a comment on this show with their thoughts and content. So I am sending it over to you, Jen.
Thank you, Nick, so much. I can't say thank you enough for telling your stories and joining us on the Triple C show to share everything with our viewers. But this show is great, but now I need to talk about next week. So next week's guest will be guest number 99. Blows my mind to say that. But next week on the Triple C show is a husband and wife creating duo with a brand new channel on YouTube that explores every corner of the Walt Disney World Resort. In its early existence, the channel already has over 1,000 subscribers, almost 400 videos, and over 195,000 views. They have been featured on the Disney Insomniacs, Two Truths and a Lie segment, so the community could get to know them a little better. Sharing the fun of Disney World is a priority on their channel, using their expertise from being both pass holders and DVC members. Joining us next week will be Jim and Dawn of Nice Work Pal. So we're real excited to have them on next week as guest number 99. And then, of course, the week after that will be the big 100th show celebration. We're going to bring back some friends. We're going to talk about some memories and then talk a little bit about what the Triple C show has up their sleeve for the future. So I hope everyone will tune in next week for Nice Work Pal and then join us again in 2 weeks for the big celebration. We're really looking forward to that. I can't, I'm so excited. I just got to say, I'm very excited about that. Thank you to everyone for helping to make that possible. Without all of our viewers, we wouldn't have a show. So we really need to thank you for coming back week after week and showing us the love and support. And we're going to keep bringing the content for you. So we're not going anywhere. Looking forward to that in 2 weeks. So one last thing I want to do is highlight Nick's social media. The mods have been dropping the links throughout the show. Moviemania Nick has an Instagram account where you can follow all of his adventures. And then he also has his YouTube account. So make sure you go ahead, check out his videos. If you like what you see, make sure you give him a sub, and show him that support. So the other the other Instagram I want to remind you about is the Triple C Instagram. If you're not following that already, go ahead and give the Triple C Instagram a follow. That's where we have all of our programming reminders and things coming up on the show. So you definitely don't want to miss that. We also have the Triple C shows as a podcast. So if you go to the Pete McDevitt Show channel on YouTube, you can click on the podcast tab, and your Triple C show will be there for listening. Okay, so let's take a moment and give our final thoughts of the night. So what we'll do is, Sammy, I'll let you go first, and then I'll go, and then Nick will finish up with you. So Sammy, why don't you go ahead and give us your final thought of the night?
All right, so my final thoughts. Nick, thank you so much for coming on. It was nice to get to see you. It's been a long time since I've been on the same screen with you. And thank you for sharing your stories. And, I'm happy to be here. Jen, thank you for having me on. And that's about it. Thank you guys so much. It was a lot of
Awesome.
fun.
Thanks for being here, Sammy. Yeah, we miss you, but we're glad that you're able to fill in from time to time. Still good to see your. Oh,
I'm here. I'm ready. Let's go. I'm ready to start the show.
You're a little late. You're a little late.
A little.
Let me just say something, because she's in charge tonight. Nick, your comments and all tonight about the community was spectacular. First off, spectacular. I was listening to it on the plane as this pilot was trying to drive us into the side of a mountain, and it was refreshing to hear. It was incredible to hang with you last week and see so many people share the love of Moviemania, Nick, because I remember the first time that we met, and you were not no more Tim and Nick. You're so much a part of our community. I think that's awesome. And I'm just glad. So that was awesome. And I loved hearing about you. So I didn't think it was going to pop me in. It just shot me right in here. As soon as I hit click, it went boom, shot me right in. So sorry, Jen, but wasn't my intention.
That's okay. That's okay. But now you just took my whole final thought. So thank you for taking the words right out of my mouth.
It's the first time I've ever done that. You do it to me every week. So it worked out good.
Is that what it feels like?
That's what it feels like.
What it feels like.
Well,
Oh,
let me do this
man.
for you then. This was a great show. I know you guys had a couple things at the beginning working and getting stuff together, but this show was banging, and your opening was fantastic. And having Sammy here and hearing her voice again helping us out was awesome. So for me as a fan, because I got to be a fan tonight instead of producer or any other thing, for me as a fan on a plane, this was an awesome show and a great guest. And hold on. I'm sorry, I didn't come in properly for Joey.
It's not a red shirt.
It's got to be red.
I got one red shirt. It's in his suitcase. So. Go ahead. All right, Jen. Sorry. Back to you.
Oh, there's a. Oh.
That was quick, Jen.
I'm pressing buttons. Sorry.
You're throwing me off, McDevitt. You're throwing me off.
Okay. Go ahead. I'll sit here quietly in my corner.
Just very quickly, Pete pretty much said, he sums it up. Having you a part of the community is fantastic. And you're such a good, how do I want to say it? You take jokes so well, like how many times do we joke with you about stuff and you just take it and you just, yeah, whatever. And that's just awesome. I don't even know how long you spent in the green room with Debbie Bernfeld, but that was just.
Oh my God. Why do we have to bring that up?
Well,
Paul's still back there waiting too. So
I had to have the place decontaminated.
But seriously, it's great to have you in the community. It's great to get to know you better. Having the opportunity to see you the past few meetups has been great. Looking forward to some more content. Keep bringing that content out. I'm going to plug this right now. Nick did release a video earlier today about Asbury Park. So everybody needs to go ahead and check that out. Beautiful shots of the beach. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
Go check that out on Moviemania Nick's channel. I do want to mention, are we doing Insomniacs tonight, Peter?
Yes, Douglas will be with me for one of the last few times tonight. So we will do it. A little bit of a recap of this weekend, talking a little Disney, having some fun, just having some laughs to start your week. So yes.
Awesome. So Insomniacs tonight, 10:45-ish, for all the laughs with Doug and with Pete. And one other thing I want to plug real quick, go watch the Disney Baker. He has a great interview going on right now. I'm sorry that we're going at the same time, but please, if the mods can drop the link to that stream. He has a great interview with Scoop Sanderson on there. Even go over there now, give it a like, comment, show some support to Baker. We love Baker. He's a partner channel. He's a very good close friend. And let's just show some support to Baker. So that would be great if you can all take a moment and go do that for us. So
I'm gonna fix it, Jen. So we dump right into there.
Fantastic, because I didn't know how to do that. So I'm glad you're here and you can do that. I have limited capabilities.
I'm good for something.
For something. Okay, well, that about wraps up our show for tonight. Next week, number 99. And then the week after, 100. Thank you, Nick, for being with us.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
Yes.
Throw it out, Nick. What do you got?
So first off, I want to thank you guys for inviting me on the show. That's the most important part. It was a great show. I had fun doing this. Also, to end the show, can I say what I always say at the end of the night in my vlogs? Which is,
that would be fantastic.
Stay safe, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.
Love it. That's a great
Party
movie.
on, dudes. That's awesome. Oh, and
no.
So now that we're done, we're going to bring on Paul.
No, my taxi driver got a speeding ticket getting me here to stop this.
I'm going back to the green room now.
No, you cannot take.
Paul's not here. He missed his shot. Oh, well, maybe next time.
Let me
See you
back
guys.
in. Stop kicking.
No.
You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine. But I can see that you